Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. If you have a band, we'll be using this today. If you don't, no worries, that's not a problem. But if you do have one, I would grab it. And we will get started. So we're going to start out with our typical breathing. We're going to be on our backs. Feet are either going to be up at 90 degrees or flat on the ground. Back is going to be flat. Hands are going to be up in the air. And all we're going to do is we're going to do 5 breaths in and out. The idea is to breathe in through the nose, fully exhale out through the mouth. When you breathe out, you'll feel your lower core engage. You want to pause for 2 seconds at the end of your breath and then breathe in. And when you breathe in, you want to feel it expand through your ribs, not into your stomach. You don't want to be breathing into your stomach. And if you're breathing into your ribs and you can only get a small breath, that's okay. It just means your rib cage is pretty tight. So don't necessarily try to take a deep breath in. Just breathe in as much as you can without breathing into your stomach. So here we go. We're going to go in through the nose. Out through the mouth. When you feel that core engage and you breathe out, try to think about keeping that on when you breathe in again. Breathe in. And out. Two more. In. Last one. Nice work. We're going to go straight into a glute bridge. To start off, we're going to just do a glute bridge hold. So we're going to come up on 2 feet this time. You don't want to be arching your back. You want to be using your glutes to only come up as much as your glutes and your hamstrings will allow. If you start arching your back or pushing with your arms, that's not what you want. So that may mean you only come up this far off the ground. It may mean you come up this far off the ground, but just use your glutes and hamstrings. We're going to hold for 1 minute here. In 3, 2, 1, go. The other thing, a few things to think about. I always think about having a pelvic tilt. So again, it helps to not arch that back. I think about really trying to bring my hips forward without arching. I try to think about having really flat feet. So you want to be able to feel your big toe really getting some pressure onto the ground. I'm constantly re-squeezing my glutes. So as you go through this exercise, you may be able to even get a little bit higher as your glutes engage a little bit more. You can have your hands down on the ground, but I prefer them to be up in the air because people have a tendency to use their arms and their elbows to push themselves up. So when you take your feet off the ground, your hands off the ground, it doesn't allow you to put pressure. And that was a minute, so you guys can come down. Nice work. We're gonna go into cobras. You guys should be familiar with these. We're gonna be on our stomach. And to begin, we're gonna do 15 cobras. So to remind you, you want your glutes and your back to be relaxed as possible. And you're gonna come up. You don't want your shoulders up here, you want your shoulders back. Pushing through the middle of your spine. You're just gonna do 15 repetitions. It don't have to be fast. In fact, the slower the better. And pause for a second at the top and really just feel that stretch through your core or really think about pressing through that mid back to get that extra extension. Really think about drawing your shoulders down, almost bringing your shoulder, trying to think about bringing your shoulder blades together. Nice job. Once you've done 15, we're gonna go back onto our back and we're gonna go back into the glute bridge. This time we're just gonna do 45-second hold each leg. So just one leg at a time this time. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and up. Hands are up in the air. Ribs are down. You can really think about that breathing that we were just doing. Big toe has good pressure on the ground. You're squeezing that glute. Just 15 more seconds. And we'll switch in 3, 2, 1, switch sides. You guys are doing great. I have about 15 more seconds here. Really squeeze that glute. Try to get the most out of yourself those last seconds. 3, 2, 1, and down. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna do one mobility exercise and then we're gonna go on to our next round. We're gonna do open books. So for those of you who are just joining, you're gonna have your knees stacked like so. You want your legs kind of to be at 90 degrees, arms are gonna be out front, and you're just simply gonna open and twist. But the idea is not to have your knees shift back. So you want your hips to stay stacked and then the same spot, and you're just twisting through your spine. This is a T-spine twisting exercise. And you can do 5 repetitions. Once you've done 5, switch sides. You might find that you get a little bit of an adjustment in your back when you do this. You may not too, that's okay. Really try to keep those hips aligned and really just think about rotating through your spine. Nice work. All right. going into our next round of exercises, if you have a band, we're going to use it now. And if you do not have a band, that is okay. We can modify the exercise for you. So if you have a band, you're just going to put it around your feet like so. We're going to be on our back. You're going to pull one knee towards you. Your other knee is going to go out. And then you're going to extend your arms overhead. Hold for a breath. Come back up and switch sides. We're going to do that for 1 minute. But if you do not have a band, you will put your elbow to your knee. And you will do 10 of these dead bug extensions on each side. Okay, so we will start in 3, 2, 1, go. As you do this exercise, really think about extending out with your hands, pushing out with that extended foot, and then also having a firm core, lower core, and a flat back. This is a really, really good exercise for running, and it's almost like mimics your knee drive. And so if you have a strong, low core, it's going to help with your hip drop. It's going to help you get really a lot more power out of your run stride. Again, you don't want your low back to be arching. So if you find your low back is coming up off the ground, that's not what you want. You need to be engaging your lower core more. You want your low back to be firmly on the ground. Just 10 more seconds here. And down. Nice work. Okay, we're going to go into side plank. We're just going to hold for 1 minute each side on the first round. So you can have a staggered stance. If you can't go up, you can go up onto your knees. That's fine. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and up. Really think about squeezing that lower glute. You may find that your shoulder gets a little bit tired, and that's okay. This is actually a shoulder stabilizing exercise as well. You don't want to be sagging. You don't want to be piking. You want to try to have your hips and your shoulders aligned. Nice work. 30 seconds in. Ten seconds to go. And switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Nice work. It's also really easy to roll forward, which also kind of creates this piking motion. So if you notice yourself doing that, just really try to align yourself. Think about squeezing that bottom glute. Twenty seconds to go here. 3, 2, 1, and down. Nice work. All right, we're gonna go into bird dog. You guys should be familiar with this. You've probably done it before. You're gonna be on all fours, and you're gonna extend out your opposite arm and opposite leg. But what you want to do, you want to try to do it without any shifting. So you imagine you're balancing a glass of water on your back, and you don't want it to spill. So you can't shift any part of your body, and you have to do it slowly and methodically. So we're just going to do 10 each side. Really think about, as you extend your leg out, squeezing through your glutes. And so as we were just doing the other exercise of the band, that's really, really good for your knee drive. This exercise is really good for the extension at the back end of your run stride. And if you have strong glutes and stable hips, you're not going to have as much rotation. It's really good for injury prevention. You're going to get more power out of the back of your stride. Once you've done 10, switch sides. Really think about having a strong core. No hip movement. Try to do it as slowly as you can. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna go into an adductor stretch. Again, you guys should be pretty familiar with this by now. It's one of my favorites. You're just gonna be on all fours. You're gonna extend one leg out to the side. The foot is gonna be flat, so you're getting a nice stretch to your peroneals as well. We're just gonna rock back and forth. And switch sides. All right, we're gonna go back to those dead bugs that we were doing. So we're gonna put the band around our feet here. And we are just going to go for another minute. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Extend out. Every time you extend out, breathe out and try to bring those ribs down like you did when we were doing the initial breathing exercise. When you do that, you'll feel your lower core come on. 10 more seconds here. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna go back into the side plank. This time, if you can, so if you're on your knees, what I would ask is that you try to go up into a side plank for 30 seconds, okay? If you are already up into a side plank, I'm gonna ask that you try to do at least 5 leg lifts and up to 10, okay? You can just do them really slowly. Really try not to have any hip drop when you do them. So we're just gonna go through it. The minimum would be 5 to strive for. So here we go. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and we're up. And for the people who are coming up off your knees, I will let you know when we're at 30 seconds. Okay, for people who are coming up off your knees, you're at 30 seconds. You can go back down onto your knees now. Everybody, we still have 20 seconds left. And switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. I will let everybody know when we're at 30 seconds. For people who are going from their knees, we're at 30 seconds. You can go back down to your knees now. Nice work, everybody. We have 20 seconds left. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and down. Nice job. Okay, we're gonna go back into those bird dogs. Just gonna do another minute. 10 each side. Here we go. Remember to go slowly and methodically. I always think about having a glass of water on my back because it really helps with my focus and concentration. Once you've done 10, switch sides. Once you're done with that, you're gonna actually stay on all fours. We're gonna go into a bear position. I think many of you have done this before, but I'll quickly show you what we're gonna do. So you're gonna be on all fours, your toes are gonna be tucked under, and you're gonna come up, bring your knees up about 1 inch off the ground, And then all we're gonna do is you're gonna walk 2, 3, 4, and then back 2, 3, 4, and then forward 2. So we're just gonna walk forward and back, 4 forward, 4 back, and we're gonna just do that continuously for 1 minute, okay? And we are gonna start, everybody come up in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Forward, 2, 3, 4, back, 2, 3, 4. Forward. Really kind of like the bird dogs. Think about that you have a glass of water balancing on your back and you can't spill it. So the idea is to be as stable as possible with your hips and your shoulders and your back. So to do that, you have to really engage that core. Don't let the knees come too high off the ground. You want to stay just that inch above. You guys are doing great. We have 10 seconds left here. And down. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna go into the modified pigeon pose. So I'm gonna face you guys. We're gonna be on all fours. You're gonna cross one knee behind, and you're gonna come down onto your elbows, and you can just find whatever position in your hip where you feel like you're really getting a stretch from. We'll just sit here for 30 seconds. Here we go, switch sides. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna go back into the bear pose, but we're gonna do something just a little bit different this time around. We're gonna go for a minute. You're gonna come up and you're gonna just do shoulder taps. Again, trying to not move your hips. And we're gonna do this for 1 minute. You go slowly and methodically. You don't need to rush this exercise. Remember to keep your knees just 1 inch off the ground. You should have full control. So if you're finding that you're going through this really fast, try to slow it down and really think about having that core control as you make the transition. You guys are doing great. 30 seconds in. $15 more seconds here. Three, 2, 1, and down. All right, if you have your band, you're gonna put it, we're gonna stand up and put it around your ankles, right above your ankles. And we're gonna stand in place. Let me see if I can just adjust the camera a little bit here. Stand in place. You're gonna be about shoulder width apart. Your knees are gonna be bent just a little bit. And all you're gonna do is you need to be really stable on this this side. You don't want to be rocking at all. See how I'm not rocking? You don't see a lot of movement. You're just going to bring your foot out. If you don't have a band, that's okay. You can actually still do this and just do toe taps. You're not going to have the resistance, but you're still going to be getting the glute activation. And we're going to do 10 each side. Might feel a pretty good burn there by the time you're done. And once you've done 10, just switch sides. Remember to go slowly because you don't want to have a lot of movement. The idea is to actually, for the foot that's not moving, or the leg that's not moving, is really engage that glute. So you're like standing there with a really, really strong position. Once you've done 10 each side, we're just going to do one more stretch and then we're going to be done. So you're going to be on your back. You're going to take one ankle and you're going to cross over your knee like so. And all you're going to do is rock to the side. And we're going to hold that. You're going to feel it's a good stretch for your spine and it's a really good hip stretch. So for those of you, when the knee that is down on the ground, the foot that's down on the ground, that's the side you're going to be rocking to. We're just going to hold that for about 20 seconds. Let's switch sides. If you have really tight hips like me, this is a really hard exercise. It's also a really good one for opening up your hips and your back. Remember to breathe through those ribs. And there we go. All right, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. You guys were great today. Everybody looked really good. So thank you so much. And I will hopefully see you all next Monday. Have a great week. Bye.